everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard. Today we're going to be taking a look at another little revolver. This is made by Charter Arms, which is made here in the United States. And it is a tiny little revolver. It is 22 Magnum. Now, if you'll remember, one of my favorite firearms, little revolvers I got, is the Taurus 942. It's also a 22 Magnum little revolver, but there's some differences in the two. Even though they're both pretty much the same size, the Taurus is an 8-shot, where the Charter Arms is only a 6-shot revolver. Now, there's also some other differences on here. The grips on these things are quite a bit different. The grip on the Charter Arms is a little bit longer than the one on the Taurus. So you get all three of your fingers on the grip there pretty comfortably too. You can't quite do that on the Taurus. It's a little bit shorter, so it's probably a little easier to conceal, and it does have 1 or 2 more rounds in it. Counting is hard. It does have 2 more rounds in it, but this one is really comfortable. Now, this one is going to be extremely light because it is an aircraft aluminum frame with a stainless or a steel barrel and steel cylinder on it, steel hammer, steel trigger, but your trigger frame is plastic. And it's probably glass-filled nylon because it is a pretty tough plastic, but it is plastic. The hammer is pretty easy to get your thumb on and pull that thing back. And one of the things that Charter Arms is the inventor of the transfer bar safety on there, and it does have a transfer bar in there, so if you drop that hammer without that trigger being pulled, that transfer bar will retract and not transfer energy from the hammer to the firing pin. I think the hammer is a little easier to pull back on the Charter Arms than it is on the Taurus, and the Taurus hammer is quite a bit smaller. Your little thumb pad that's on there is quite a bit smaller. It also has a transfer bar safety, but Charter Arms are the people that made this. Now, they've been around since I think 1964, and it was an engineer from some of the other gun manufacturers that started up Charter Arms, and they're made here in America in Shelton, Connecticut. This is the Pathfinder, and it is chambered in 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire. Not to be confused with Winchester rimfire, which is a little different round. But anyways, we got a couple boxes of Winchester Magnum here. These are 40 grain, 1910 feet per second. They are a jacketed hollow point. So we're going to take this thing out on the range and give it a few shots and see how it does. Now, this one is used. I did buy it because I really like these little revolvers. And one of the really cool things about it is this is the holster I made for the 605, which is the 357 revolver by Taurus, and the 942 being the same frame size, fits in there just perfect. And the Charter Arms Pathfinder also fits in there perfect. So I've already got a holster for this thing. All right, I'm out here on the range with the Charter Arms Pathfinder, a little 22 Magnum 6-shot revolver. I got my eyes on, I got my ears on. Now we're gonna go ahead and get some rounds loaded in here. Piece of cake, just drop them in, just like any other swing out cylinder revolver. Put the 6 rounds in there, and these are I think I said these were 40 grain jacketed hollow points. So they've got the little lead soft point on there, and they are a hollow point round. And we're just going to take 6 shots at a silhouette target up there because really this is a 2-inch barrel on this gun. It is meant for easy to carry personal protection. And we're going to go ahead and do, let's do 6 shots. We'll do them single action. That way we can see kind of what the accuracy is like. I'm not going to dwell too much on it because that's not its forte. Okay, there's 6 shots at 7 yards is where this is at, so it didn't do too bad. Let's see, what do we got going on here? A little bit of hang-ups in there, huh? Yeah. Let's see if I can tap these out a little bit. There we go. Took a little bit of tapping to get them to let loose. I did take and clean it up and lube it up pretty good. I don't see any excessive case swelling on these. I don't see anything around the rim that would indicate there's a problem. No, they all look pretty good. They just did get hung up a little bit. Let's go ahead and put 6 more in there, and we'll do these 6 double action, and maybe we'll do some headshots with it. Okay, I got my 6 rounds in there. We're going to do double action headshots in this one, see how it does. No fire there. Try it again. No fire. No fire. Okay, those ones that did not fire on the first try did fire on the second. Now, I did mention that the hammer felt easier to pull back, and I'm pretty sure it may have a little lighter trigger pull on it, a little lighter spring anyways. And those 6 seem to get hung up in there too. Again, I don't notice any kind of excessive swelling on there. They all look pretty good. The hits do look kind of light, and I did see one of them in here where the that one and that one, those 2 right there, it almost looks as if the round may have rotated a little bit because I'm seeing 2 distinct firing pin hits in separate spots. That one's just kind of like a little oval in there. It's kind of interesting. Now, they do not make this particular model anymore, the 6-shot revolver. They make an 8-shot now. So, you know, I don't know if maybe they ironed out some issues with it. But it seems like a pretty good gun. It is very light. Recoil doesn't seem like it's much at all. It's a very light gun, but it's only 22 Magnum, so there's not going to be a whole lot of kick anyways. Okay, so there's my 6 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that looks like, no, both of those tumbled for some reason. And they may have tumbled right out of the barrel there too, and that's what caused it to, as they're tumbling through the air, maybe miss my target, because these 4 are pretty much where I'm aiming, and they have not tumbled. They hit nice and round. In the body, the center mass ones I did there, one of those tumbled pretty badly too. Anyways, we're going to see if we can hit that steel target real quick. Okay, I've got my 6 rounds loaded up in here again, and we're going to do 15 yards at the steel target. I'm going to do them single action. Just take my time with them a little bit and see how it does. Looks like I missed 2 out of the 6, and I think it could be some of that bullet tumbling thing there, because the 4 that I did hit, I mean, I didn't paint the target, so you can't see exactly where they hit. But 15 yards away, they did fine, and 2 of them did not get to their intended target. And again, there they went. So it's not sticking very much, but just enough to cause you a little bit of issues. Okay, so there it is, the Charter Arms Pathfinder. It was a little sticky ejecting some of those, and I'm not exactly sure why it was, because they do not appear to have badly swollen cases. In single action, every one of them fired. Double action was a little bit different story on there. Very lightweight little gun, kind of some sharp edges on that front sight on there, all fixed sights, no adjustment whatsoever. And that's one of the benefits of the Taurus one, is it does have an adjustable rear sight. And this front sight is machined onto the barrel, so you can't change it out. I did change out the one on my 942. I put a little tritium front sight on there, which is really easy to see, and you can see it in low light situations too. But it shoots pretty good for what it is. I'm not sure, the MSRP on these is kind of high, around the $400 mark, but I'm pretty sure they sell for a lot less. Now, they do make handguns in, all they make is revolvers. They don't make any semi-autos. And they make them in a bunch of different calibers. I think with their largest being 44 Special, which 44 Special is kind of a hard round to find. But some of the other ones, the 38s and 357s, 22 Magnum, 22 LR. And I think they make it in a 32 H&R Magnum too, which would be an interesting little round too. I do not have a firearm that uses those, but I sure am interested in getting one. Now, as far as accuracy goes, you know, this is just me. This is me shooting it. So the only way to tell if it's completely accurate is to put it in a rest that has no human interaction. And a lot of times you'll see me put the matrix up here on the bar and shoot it 10 yards there, and it just kind of minimizes some of that human reaction. But there is a rest, it's called the ransom rest, and I've seen it on some other channels, and it's really cool. But to get the setup that I want, so there's no human interaction on there, they're expensive. It's like $500 for the rest, another couple $100 for the windage plate, so you can take every bit of human element out of it, and then a remote cable to fire it with, and the whole thing ends up being right around $900. So that's the price of a really good handgun for $900, and some really nice rifles too. So unless somebody wants to send me one, I'm probably just going to keep on doing it the way I've been doing it, where you know, I just shoot it and see what I can do with it. Your results may vary. Anyways, thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review and taking a look at the Charter Arms Pathfinder with me. If you could, reach up here and hit this button to check out some of my other videos, and hit this little round button down here to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.